Hello and very warm welcome at Amish Shackle 5858. I am Amish Shackle. Foreign news have been reported by American, European, Asian, African, Australian news channels and the news agencies. So please, let's go to the headlines.
Most watched. Now streaming same day with all the breaking news of the day. On Disney Plus. Most watched, most trusted. Now on Disney Plus every night.
Tonight, new details just coming in on the shooting at the White House Correspondents' Center. What happened when the shots rang out and the writings authorities say they discovered in the suspect's hotel room. Shocking video appears. They're trained, untreated. The journalist by agents in a late. Two.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. So much for you.
On this Sunday night, an alleged assassin attack. We're learning about the shooting, the alleged trying to become the first to mention media. To hire women workers in the trades.
Global national.
We're now learning more details about the suspect in last night's shooting at the dinner where the president was in attendance. Bill Malik. And Bill, you have to point out right now the fact that Secret Service has not been funded in 71 days. You wrote that earlier.
Yeah, Maria, good morning to you. DHS has been unfunded since the middle of February. So, yes, some frontline Secret Service agents have been paid during that time through other means, but a lot of their support staff haven't. In the meantime, we're learning more about the suspect here, 31-year-old Cole Allen of Torrance, California. I'm told by multiple federal law enforcement sources familiar with this investigation that after he was arrested last night, he made some initial comments to investigators where he admitted that his intent was to target Trump administration officials. Now, our colleague David Spunt just talked to some federal law enforcement sources. He is being told that Allen checked into that Washington Hilton hotel on Friday. So that would be the day before the White House Correspondent Dinner, and that while he was initially talking to investigators after his arrest, he is no longer being cooperative. We do know that search warrants were served at his home in Torrance, California last night, as well as his hotel room at the Washington Hilton. They're going to be seizing any electronic devices trying to figure out how long he had allegedly been planning this and who else he may have been in contact with. David reports that his family members are currently being interviewed and that right now investigators are currently talking to credit card companies to go through his purchases and figure out where he got that shotgun, where he got the handgun, and again, he brought 2 knives with him. So what we're being told right now, Maria, is yes, initially he was talking to investigators, told them his intent was to target the Trump administration, but he is no longer being cooperative right now.
All right, Bill, thank you. Bill Malone.
Hello, you're watching Sky News. I'm Nick Qureshi. Here are the headlines at 5. US authorities confirmed Donald Trump was the likely target of a gun attack at a Washington dinner on Saturday night.
There seems to be some sort of a shooting, or certainly shots, what appear to be shots fired at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Police say the suspect, a 31-year-old Californian, called himself friendly federal assassin and sent a note to his family before the attack. He was detained after an officer who was saved by his bulletproof vest was shot. Here, Buckingham Palace confirms this week's state visit to the United States by the King and Queen will continue as planned. And the London Marathon sees new world records from both male and female athletes, with the men's winner breaking the 2-hour barrier for the first time ever in a competitive race. Hello, good morning. Nice to see you on this Monday. Authorities in the United States are treating an armed attack on a dinner in Washington on Saturday night as an assassination attempt on President Trump and other members of his...
All great ABC podcasts on the ABC Listen app. A desperate search underway for a 5-year-old girl. Police believe she was taken from her Alice Springs home.
We do believe Sharon has been abducted, and we believe Mr. Jefferson may be able to provide us with some information in regards to that.
The bodies of 2 people believed to be children found after a house fire west of Sydney. Security scrutinised after a gunman opens fire outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner attended by Donald Trump. And saving the platypus calls for the mammal to be listed as a threatened species in New South Wales. Hello, welcome to ABC News. I'm Lorna Dunkley. Police in Alice Springs are searching for a man recently released from prison who they believe has abducted a...
Africa News. The news.
Fresh fighting has erupted in the key Malian town of Kidal as Tuareg rebels backed by jihadists clash with government forces supported by Russian mercenaries. The violence follows coordinated nationwide attacks with rights groups urging the junta to do more. More and more, the military junta is failing to contain jihadist attacks all over the place, especially in the north, so that would be a failure. If a military coup was carried out, it would be to say we in the military are the best, the most capable of ensuring the country's security. Explosions and sustained gunfire rocked Bamako as armed groups launched coordinated attacks across the country into Sunday. This is a new turning point and at the same time a new phase of insecurity that is extremely worrying in my view. And it doesn't concern Mali alone. If people think it's only Mali, no, it's not just Mali. If Mali falls, the whole Sahel will follow, and the repercussions will be incalculable. After the junta takeover in Mali, UN and French troops withdrew, and authorities turned to Russian mercenaries to fight the insurgency. I think that since the army has just said that things are under control, we can hope that Assimi Goïta is where he needs to be, safe and sound, and perhaps carrying on. But what must be said, what needs to be noted, and the lesson to be drawn from this regarding military juntas in West Africa is that they must now have the courage to acknowledge the limits of what they can achieve in terms of security. Assimi Goïta leads.
This is Asia Now.
Hello and good afternoon. It's 12 p.m. in Singapore and Hong Kong, 9:30 a.m. in New Delhi, and 11 o'clock in Jakarta. I'm Yasmin Yonkers. At this hour, countries across the world spend big on defense. A SIPRI report shows military budgets hit nearly $2.9 trillion last year, led by the US, China, and Russia. Iran's foreign minister shuttles among mediating countries after the US cancelled planned talks in Islamabad. Abbas Araghchi has arrived in Russia to meet President Vladimir Putin after a trip to Pakistan and Oman, where he presented Tehran's resolution to end the conflict. And the suspect behind the White House Correspondents' Dinner shooting will face charges in federal court today. Investigators say the gunman was targeting the Trump administration, including the president. And we begin with global military spending hitting a record high of $2.9 trillion in 2025. There's new data from the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, or SIPRI, placing the US, China, and Russia as the top spenders. They spent a combined total of
Liberté, égalité, actualité.
Good morning, I'm Oliver Farry, and this is Daybreak, and here are this morning's headlines. A 31-year-old man is to appear in court Monday in Washington to be charged in relation to what Trump administration officials say appeared to be an attempt on the president's life. Trump himself, in a TV interview, says he was not worried during the incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner on Saturday night. We'll be speaking to France 24's Fraser Jackson in Washington. Mali declares 2 days of national mourning following the death of Defence Minister General Saido Camara in an attack by jihadists on Saturday. The attack by the Al-Qaeda-linked JNIM and Tuareg rebels was one of the largest coordinated assaults in the West African country in recent years. Lebanon says 14 people were killed in Israeli strikes in the south of the country on Sunday, the deadliest day since the start of the ceasefire between Israel and Hezbollah in mid-April. Meanwhile, the Israeli military says 1 soldier was killed and 6 injured in an attack by the Iran-backed Shia militia. And we'll be taking a look at a new supersized telescope in Chile's Atacama Desert that aims to bring distant planets into view for the first time.
Thank you for watching. I'm Shakil 5858. I hope you will come again. Have a good life. Bye-bye.